All right, guys. I might give it one more minute, but we got a fair number of attendees, more than enough to get us rolling. So it's exciting. Um, I'll hit you up. I've got the main slide up right now, but we'll have a agenda right behind it. So there is a question answer session that's going to come up at the end. We'll also have, I believe there's a poll that's available. And hopefully everybody, all the attendees will please fill that out. We're trying to have these monthly meetings available for everyone to ask specific questions and to learn, I guess, just general updates from all the major team leads, sub teams within ESRA and the IREC competition. So there will still be opportunities to ask questions on a forum solution that we're going to be talking about in the future. And then, from that standpoint, this monthly meeting though is a opportunity to speak directly to, I guess, the subject matter experts, whether it's something about travel or international challenges or financials or whatever the case might be. Those opportunities are going to be here during these monthly meetings, and you'll also get to hear what we've been up to preparing for the 2026 IREC. So welcome everyone. I'll go ahead and quickly sort of run us through our agenda for the day. My name is Andrew Berger. I'm the executive director for ESRA. I've been with ESRA since 2017, and I'm just sort of the head administrator. I'm the just make sure that general operations are functioning, and I report to Steve Taylor, our beloved president, as red as he may be right now. And so we work very closely to make sure that the experience and the directives that he has expressed are carried through, and we continue to make the event better and better every year. So following this, I'm going to hand it over to Steve for his president's moment, where he can sort of give a little perspective of what we've been doing in our spare time since last June, and what his vision of the 2026 IREC is going to look like. So, and then I'll have some additional updates. We'll move over to hopefully the range safety team with Jim Jarvis when he's able to join us, because there are some DTAG updates that are coming out that are going to affect teams. So they're certainly wanting to know about that. And then we'll have any other the panelists that are on, that if they have any updates they'd like to provide, they can certainly tell us, and we'll give them some time to do that. And then we'll roll into some question and answers. Our hope is that these town halls never proceed beyond an hour. So we're going to try to get through this just as quickly as we can. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Mr. Taylor.
And forgive my red bald head, but lighting is a little good. I'm a little lighting challenged at the moment. So, hey, thank you all for joining. Thank you to my volunteers, and thank you to the students that have joined us. A couple of things, I guess, since the last competition. This competition is going to be in the same place this year. And just to give you a little brief update, we have met with the powers that be in Midland, and now tomorrow I'm going to meet with the powers that be in Pecos, and they're really very welcoming and really are anxious for us to keep the competition there. So you might hear things in the coming events where you'll hear how that relationship is building, and how with the Midland Spaceport and their new area, they're building a vertical launch area. They have a horizontal launch area right now at the Midland Spaceport in Midland proper, but the area that we are launching rockets at, they're talking about potentially having a larger commercial-based facility for vertical launching. So we'll keep you posted on that. I will say that, one of the things that I'm actually interested in your feedback on is we are considering a boost glider component to this competition, which I'd love to hear your feedback on, where you'd be able to boost either there's three different methods or modes. It would be have the actual aircraft go off on a rocket motor, have it boosted up by a rocket, and then have a glider come down, or I guess a hybrid of that. So think about that. Think about whether if it's something that your teams would be interested in. With our partnership with AIAA, I really want to bring those two elements together. And it's really, if you think about it, if you think starting with the space shuttle, but going to Sierra and going to Virgin Galactic, and the folks that are actually doing now the gliders and coming back to Earth under glider power, is definitely one of those areas that I'm interested in increasing that engineering challenge for y'all. But I guess other than that, Andy, I really don't have much else to say other than, again, forgive me for my big red dome, and I'll let you throw it back to you.
Awesome. Okay. Again, it has been the period between June and August is usually very quiet for ESRA. But I have to tell you, just from having done this for a long time, this has definitely by far been the most active vacation period we've ever had. Steve is traveling like crazy. We had another meeting and looked at the launch site and did a bunch of other stuff just a few weeks ago. Various meetings going on. We're talking to sponsors already, so it's a lot more activity. And don't even get me started with Jessica and the website. All of the work that she's been doing, literally feels like she probably has never even stopped since the IREC last year. But hopefully you'll see the benefits and appreciate all of her hard work on putting the new website together. But that's one of the things I'll talk about here in a second as well. Okay, there we go. All right, the first one that's probably going to see most people are going to experience almost immediately is our departure from HeroX. And I'll just say up front that HeroX has been the main website for all of our applications and submissions of progress reports and the judging and evaluation of those. A lot of functions have rolled through HeroX. We've had their various forums as well as mass updates to everybody, and teams could log in there as individuals and then join their teams. And so it was a nice functioning group of applications in that system that helped support a lot of the spots that we didn't have those capabilities. But as of this year, the new website, new functionalities is going to be coming online. And obviously we're always looking to try to customize and improve the environment and your experience as best our ability. We've made a decision to step away from HeroX. And so with your applications, there will be a little bit of a learning curve because it won't be the normal HeroX that you're used to filling out. But we promise it will be tested. It will be hopefully fairly straightforward and not a significant change from what you've experienced in the past. But there will still be a lot of questions, and we will ask for a lot of detail, and we'll want to know everything about your team. And we're going to maybe even ask some additional questions about maybe giving us a full listing of everybody on your team, because when we start our mass communications, we're going to have to essentially create our own mass communication system instead of relying on the HeroX system. So there will be quite a few updates going around for that. And what we're asking everyone is to please continue to monitor our social media channels. Without HeroX and the update functionality, we're really going to have to rely on social media until we can get the new mass media system up and going. And so with that, we'll talk briefly about the new website. And if you haven't seen it already, please make sure that you're actively using this site. We will be pulling down, we'll basically redirect the old soundingrocket.org website. We'll be pulling that down so that if anybody goes to any page on that that website, it will automatically redirect you to the homepage for ESRA Rocket. It has a significant number of improvements in both detail level as well as organization. The old site was her inherited mass curmudgeon together. It just was not very well organized. And as much as Jessica tried to get it fixed and cleaned up, it still required us to move to the ESRA Rocket, which was something we had planned to do anyways. And so with her hard work over the summer, she was able to put a fantastic version together, and we went live into production with it about a month ago, and then opened it up to everyone and announced it probably a couple of weeks ago. So if you haven't taken a look at it, please visit esrarocket.org. That is our new main website. If you notice, the esrarocket.org is the same as our email addresses. So no more of separate domain things going on. So next topic is I wanted to talk about, we have a tremendous number of new teams. If you have not already filled out the poll that is on here, please do that now. It's 2 questions. It's very straightforward. But the number of emails that I've received through the website regarding new teams from all over the world interested in participating, quite a few of those has expressed and made it pretty clear that they don't have a lot of experience or any experience at all. And so it's very, very critical that these teams, we will have a new training class available on our website, hopefully in the next week or so. And so the goal of that is to ensure that the applications for these new teams are filled out to the best of their abilities. And it explains in detail what ESRA looks at in the applications and considers valuable or invaluable. It will also highlight areas where maybe it's not the best idea for a particularly new team or an inexperienced team or a team that does not have sufficient financials or doesn't have sufficient mentoring or any of these type of functions to attempt an application. It also identifies areas such as, teams that are maybe a little bit experienced, but have never attended the event, wanting to compete in a higher, more challenging category. Again, these are things that are identified very quickly by our judges, and that is almost certain to have your application denied. So we want to make sure that you guys are aware that what we are looking for, how we go through the process of reviewing and evaluating applications, so that you don't run into those scenarios and then get upset when your team doesn't make the final listing. Last little tidbit I wanted to throw in was social media. Again, as we're really pushing hard at this point to get our updated systems to replace the Hero X. In the meantime, our main channel for communications will be through social media. And that is going to probably be the case for at least the next month or so. And then once we receive the functionality in the website, we will ask everyone to sign up for those announcements, and they will be submitted out via email. So I think that is it for the main topics that I had for this evening. So I wanted to roll it over to our next. Jim, have you joined us by chance? Mr. Jarvis. All right. Steve, did you want to try to talk about any of those items? I was hoping that he would be on the call by now.
He is. Jim is.
Jim is on the call.
He was under attendees.
Oh, he's under attendees. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I see him.
All right. Hold on a sec. Give me a sec, Jim. I'll find you and I'll fix this real quick. Oops.
He does show up on my
Hold on.
Mine as well.
All right.
But Jim, if you can hear us, we first want to know how things went with your flight. But and then if you could tell on Ken, because I don't think I've heard anything from Ken.
Looking for Jim. Sorry, guys. Quite a few
I
people.
put him in. I'm sorry. I put him into panelist.
Oh,
And
excellent,
then I
excellent.
gave him
That's what I was trying
permission
to
to
do.
talk.
Yep.
Okay, so he should, Jim, you should
Oh, we
be
see
able to
Jim.
speak.
And I am here.
There you are.
The flight didn't go as well as I had hoped. Didn't like the third stage,
Oh,
but we had fun.
okay. How about Ken? I haven't heard anything about Ken's flight.
Ken, I think the up part, I mean, he flew an end motor. The up part was good. The down part, I think he had a separation. And the lower airframe came in hot and the parachute floated off somewhere.
Oh, geez. Okay. Okay. See,
Sure.
even the experts, guys, even the experts. Well, you know,
I was saying the board members didn't have any more luck than I did, so they can't come throw stones at me.
okay, Jim. D-tag
All right.
update.
So,
Yep.
yeah, Jim, here, this is your opportunity. And I know this is the last second on the spot type scenario, but I know the teams are curious about changes to the DTAG. And I know we posted on social media at least a quick summary of some of those upcoming changes. Now, they haven't been updated in the DTAG yet. There's a lot of detail to be worked out in wording and nomenclature, et cetera. But if you could maybe spend a few minutes going through what you consider some of the bigger changes to DTAG is, just so that folks here and folks that are listening to the recording can be aware.
Do you have a list of them handy? I literally just walked in the door and I don't have a convenient list in front of me.
I am doing 16 things at a time. Can somebody that is a panelist that can speak, maybe Adam, if you can, go to the social media Facebook page, I think, and it should be, I think we sent it out. It was a PDF, I believe, probably less than 3 weeks ago.
And it, if nowhere else, it's on Slack on the DTAG channel.
Okay. Adam, are you able to hear this? Or there he is.
I think I have it.
Okay.
Okay, we had a list of I think it was actually 12 items. And I'm only seeing 11. The first one was just a clarification on tracking solutions, because I think the DTAG says that the tracking solutions have to be powered independently. And what we want them to be is powered and switched independently, so that basically teams can turn them on in the pits and test their altimeters without also turning on the GPS. Now, it may be that the GPS issue is solved differently than this, but we want people to be able to test their altimeters, but not step on the tracking solutions of teams that are trying to fly. The second item was just a clarification on the timing for completing ESRA motor testing. The third item was regarding the use of double-headed igniters. And we want teams to be able to use double-headed igniters. That was taken out of the rules for last year because of there were issues with the power consumed when using two high-power igniters. So we'll figure out what to be able to do so that we don't have a problem with the being able to launch those double-headed igniters, and we'll come up with some options for being able to do that so that we don't have rockets sitting on the pad because the igniter doesn't fire. The fourth item that we had was that the current DTAG recommends a rail velocity of 100 feet per second, and then has some sort of ambiguous wording about being able to demonstrate stability at velocities less than 100 feet per second. And we want to take the ambiguity out of this. So what we're looking at is a 25 meter per second or 82 feet per second minimum for launch velocity off the rail. One key there is that that rail velocity needs to be calculated based on the effective rail length, which means the rail length that at a point where basically only one rail button is still attached to the rail. So when there's only one button left, however high the rocket is moved at that point, that's the effective rail velocity and the altitude, so to speak, where the rail velocity needs to be determined. Number 5 was regarding the use of shunts for two-stage rockets. Currently it's recommended to use a shunt in the DTAG, but we're making that so it's a requirement. And it's quite easy to do. There are switches that basically double pole, double throw switches where in the off position they will shunt, and then the on position they'll allow the connection between the altimeter and the igniter. There are some recommended designs in the Appendix D of the DTAG, and so that's what the rule will be this year. Is there a question or comment? I heard some talk.
No, there was somebody just joined in.
Okay. 6 is there's currently an exemption for single deploy for two-stage boosters. Recognizing that two-stage boosters can go to in excess of 10,000 feet, and we're not allowing payloads to put out a main below or above 1,500 feet. And two-stage boosters, the single deploy at 10,000 feet will drift a long way. So basically, the exemption that was only in place for this year is being removed, and we'll go back to dual recovery for boosters for this coming year. 7 basically prohibits the use of LiPo batteries. This last year we had sort of an exemption in the DTAG that allowed a very limited use of LiPo batteries, and specifically batteries that were only recommended and sold by the vendor of a device. So in the case of featherweight trackers, for example, there was one LiPo battery that was allowed for transmitters. And so it was very restrictive, and it became very complicated for project reviewers on our end to be able to figure out what batteries were being allowed and which weren't. And so it was being inconsistently applied. And given that the real intent of this was not to allow LiPos for various reasons, basically going forward, we're just not allowing the use of LiPo batteries at all. There are alternatives that are perfectly fine for any electronics that would otherwise be usable with LiPo batteries. There are some very good technical reasons for not using LiPo batteries, and so we're just eliminating the use of them for this year. Number 8 regards fin dimensions, and we're adding a requirement the fin semi-span must be a minimum of 0.8 calibers. We had some rockets over the last few years that literally have fins that are so small as to be ineffective, and particularly when those sorts of fins are shadowed by an upper airframe section that's larger than the section that the fins are attached to. So we're putting in a minimum requirement. Now, many teams may be aware that the actual good design requirements for fin spans are significantly in excess of 0.8 calibers, but we're putting in a minimum simply to say, okay, if we meet that requirement, there's a reasonable chance that the rocket will go up and not do loops. Number 9 requests teams to provide a shear modulus value for the fin flutter analysis. And we're not adding any requirements here I mean, we're not changing anything regarding the requirements for fin flutter. But what we are asking for is a value for the underlying shear modulus that's used in the analysis. There are lots of ways to do fin flutter analyses, and it's difficult sometimes to get in and understand exactly what teams are doing. But if a team provides an estimate of the value that they're using for the shear modulus, then we have some ability to go and do our own analysis of what fin flutter might be based on what the team thinks the shear modulus is. So it's a little bit more of a fundamental value than to simply provide, here's the fin flutter velocity that we calculate. At least we have a mechanical value that we can go back to evaluate fins. Number 10 requires a stability of 1.5 calibers off the static off the rail and 2 calibers for supersonic flights. And I think we're going to need to change the wording of this, because what we really want is basically what you're getting when you do a RAS arrow analysis. When you do a RAS arrow analysis, if your stability margin drops below 2 on a supersonic flight, you'll get a nasty gram from that. And so we're not adding any requirements here really, other than we're trying to provide a sort of a standard way to evaluate this. One of the issues is that when you do an open rocket analysis, we get a lot of open rocket analyses where the team has gone in and put non-zero or a fairly high wind condition. The stability goes down when you do that, and it makes it difficult for reviewers to be able to say, what, you know, is this a reasonably safe flight or not? So all we want to see is the static stability margin on the pad and the static stability margin through the flight to be able to say, okay, this is a reasonably safe flight. You know, the reviewers don't want to go in and do a more complicated analysis to look at the, you know, other things that might be important to look at for stability margin, but we just want to be able to look at a sort of a consistent metric and say, okay, this rocket's likely to go up. We encourage teams to do more in-depth and detailed stability analyses, but this is what we want to see when we're reviewing projects. Number 11 talks about the being able to allow teams to provide a standoff for their rockets. Right now, teams come in, they don't necessarily know what standoff's going to be. And so sometimes you end up putting a 2x4 under the rocket or something else where maybe you're not getting the best support for the rocket, or maybe you're on the nozzle or something like that. So what we want is for teams, if they want to be able to design a standoff that fits their rocket and that provides good support. It's going to be like other things provided, you know, that are taken to the pads. You know, it will be removed after the flight, and you can pick it up in the lost and found. It needs to be something, therefore, that the pad managers can easily remove after the flight. But we want to be able to allow teams to come up with a support that matches their rocket. And there's a number 12, which right at the moment, I'm not sure I recall exactly what it was. Can someone remind me?
let's see.
Was it in that PDF that I posted?
Yeah, I believe it was in the second one. Oh, yeah, let's see, it's coming back to me. Yeah, this was about the assignment of frequencies. And last year we had a number of cases where we had so many teams showing up on 900 megahertz, basically the featherweight trackers, that we had issues with, particularly rockets that had not been recovered yet, conflicting with rockets that we were trying to launch off the pad. And at the moment, we don't really have a good resolution for that, other than just to say that we're going to have to make more use of 70 centimeter. And that means teams that might otherwise have featherweight trackers and might otherwise want to be on 900 megahertz are going to be assigned a frequency that's in the 70 centimeter range. So just fair warning at this point that we don't really have an alternative way of solving that problem at this point. So one advantage, if you're assigned 70 centimeter, there's going to be no one else on that frequency. And so you're probably going to be able to do testing prior to getting to the pad and being able to resolve GPS issues before that, where you're not unable to do that now until you get to the pad. But there's a reasonable chance that teams from the US are going to have to go to 70 centimeters. So just fair warning on that.
And that's going to require a ham license. So just make sure your team's aware of that as well.
Yeah, ham licenses are easy to get.
Easy.
Even I got one. I got 100% on the test after about 3 hours worth of study, and so it's not difficult to do it all. There are multiple vendors of 70 centimeter equipment. We were hoping there might be sort of a technical improvement on 900 megahertz that might allow the use of more frequencies, but it doesn't appear the timing of that is going to be such that we can guarantee it's going to be available for this year.
If I can add in, having a ham license, having a amateur radio frequency license looks really good on a resume, by the way. If you're talking telemetry, well, you're talking radio frequency. So having that on your resume, and again, I took it. I mean, I can understand Jim getting 100% on it. That make sense, but I passed it. I mean, me.
They asked me if I wanted to take the next one since I did so well, and I figured I knew just enough to statistically get less than 25% score, and then they would take away my license if they did that. So,
yep. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Jim. Guys, just reminder that you can ask questions whatever you want to at this point. There is a questions link somewhere in the controls for this Zoom webinar. And if you just submit those questions, keep in mind, you cannot do them anonymously. We've had some challenges with that in the past. So it does require you it will show your name when you type in that question. And hopefully it's a good question, and we'll be happy to answer it towards the end of this thing. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate that update. It's recorded. So again, the actual DTAG with the details of all these changes will be released in the future. Again, it's a lot of work and a lot of details and a lot of review and finalizing to get that out, but it will be put out and it will be announced so that all the teams are aware of it. But having it here, at least up front, allows teams to prepare for it when it's coming down the pipe. So at this point, I'd like to go ahead and maybe do a quick roundtable with the ESRA panelists that are here. These are all team leads, and I'm just going to start off at the top here with Adam, who is the very first person on. So we'll give you the opportunity. Adam is again leading the two-stage areas. So Adam, if you have any updates or comments you'd like to make just for what two-stage is going to look like next year, that'd be great. You're still muted.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So as of right now for the two-stage area, I believe we're going to be looking, for the most part the same as we did last year. We hopefully anticipate maybe a little bit of growth this year with the addition of the prize money for the, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, it was the 30K category or was it the 45?
I believe that was the 30K category.
Okay. Yeah. So, we'll see if we have some growth there. So we're excited for that. And I don't think I have anything else super major to add for the two stagers. Feel free to send me an email. And Andy, let's I guess we can encourage people to email the two stage Ezra email if they come to you for questions.
Absolutely. In fact, the flyer it was posted on social media. So please double check me there, folks. That has all the details. I've thought about 10,000 other things since then, but it does require commercial motors. So no SRAD motors need apply for that category for the prize. And the price I believe was $3,000, which is not a sneeze at that point. That would help pay for the motors at least.
Yeah,
All right, I
Andy,
appreciate it.
wasn't
Thank you.
the 45K was gonna
I
have
think
that
it was.
prize?
Maybe it was the 45K.
I'm pretty
I
sure that's
probably
the
misspoke.
45K. Right.
Yep.
Yep.
45K.
Got you. Okay, let's swing over to Paul Holmes from the hybrid side, who always shows us his lovely living room with all the cool stuff in
Oh, yeah.
it.
Anyways, been working on improvements for what I want to do with the hybrids. We had good participation last year, but it kind of strained our resources. So I've already been in discussion with setting up the control area a lot better, making more institutionalized. And we're also thinking about getting additional pads because we were constrained with pads last year. Let's see. I mean, from the hybrid side, of course, we're going to try to improve getting better ice facilities for chilling our nitrous, but because we kind of fell down last year on that, so we're going to fix it. Other than that, I was very pleased with our participation last year, and hope we have some good challenging teams this year flying the hybrid area. And I'll be there doing what I need to do to make everybody successful. But other than that, that's about it.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, let's swing it over to Miss Stephanie, our ESRA events manager, the mom of the whole organization, and keeps this all, I guess, on track, and manages everything from sponsors down to what time do we arrive and who's getting fed where and all the little details.
All the little details. Yeah. Well, first, hi, everybody. So excited about starting up again. Nice to have a little break, but then, yeah, I'm ready to jump back in. So I do want to remind the panelists to take a look at the question and answers. None of those are what I can answer. So I know Mohi, I think you're going to answer a couple, but just don't want the questions to go unanswered. But yeah, so I'm very excited about this. I do work on a lot of the details with the Horseshoe and also at the Bush Center. I'm also working with sponsors. We've already got PTC signed up and a lot of others in the wings. So we're really looking forward to that. Looking forward to really having monthly calls, which I'll be talking to you, Andy, about. I think we should start scheduling those as it's coming up into October. But anyway, yeah, and I do a little bit of everything, and I'm on the website, so anybody can certainly send an email to me. I'm always glad to. I very seldom have the answer, but I can follow somebody who would. So, but anyway, I'm glad to be doing this again.
Awesome.
Andy.
Thank you so much. All right, next one, Jessica with our amazing webmaster.
Welcome back, everybody, and hello to everybody that is new. The website is up and running. However, we still may have some kinks because it has only been live for about a month now. So if you come up with anything, you notice it's a little out of whack, please email me. The email is down at the bottom of the website, webmaster@azrarocket.org, so that we can work on getting it fixed. With this competition, we are going to see a lot of changes as we utilize the website a lot more than we have in the past. So just please stay tuned to the website and also, of course, social media as we move through that as well. I did have one other thing to add as in reference to those of you past contestants that did fill out the 2025 survey. And you did provide your email for a coupon for the online store. Once the store goes live on the new site, I will email you the coupon codes as promised in the survey. You have not been forgotten. And I definitely wanted to let you know that. So
Awesome.
that's all I have for you.
Excellent. All right. Mr. Joe Pfeiffer, how are you, sir?
Doing well, thank you. And I am basically here to answer any questions people have. I don't have any particular updates to provide.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right. Swinging over to Mohi Khan.
Hey, folks. Yeah, I mean, a couple of things that are happening behind the scenes is figuring out how to set up better queues for the upcoming 2026 competition year in terms of not just coming into the quarantine tent, but also overall coming to the facilities, and also figuring out how better to tackle the radio frequency issues that we came across in terms of deconflicting, better testing down within the range in order to mitigate those issues where we sent folks down and then realize that, oh, there's a rocket that came down that's conflicting now. So a bunch of things in the works. Hopefully all of that will help make things a lot more fun and better at the 2026 competition.
Excellent. Thank you, Mohi. All right. Jimmy, Mr. Jimmy on. Yep, you're
Unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I have no particular announcements to make either, just to say that I'm really happy to be involved again with this August group of Rocketeers. When I reflect on August, I think about here in Florida. August is hot and wet, so that might apply to some of us here. Anyway, my role has been for the last few years a safety reviewer and also particularly supporting the Rocketeers that bring sugar motors, because that's my one field of expertise within rocketry. I'm very proud to do that. Have excellent help from Rick Maschik and Bill Finkelstein too, so I'm very glad for them to support those groups that can't get AP propellant in their countries.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Happy to have y'all's expertise.
Yeah.
All right. I think Steve and Jim, you guys have already spoken, but raise your hand if you want to chat.
No, the only thing I want to say is I've moved the kitchen table so I have better lighting on me now. Okay.
Now you really do look like a 1980s MTV video.
You're right.
All righty. We'll swing over to Chad Davis with Support Services.
Hey everybody, looking forward to being back and getting going with this. No real updates for me at this time. Just really looking forward to taking the learnings from the support services side and being able to implement the learnings into how we can be more efficient next year. So looking forward to hitting the ground running.
Awesome. Thanks, sir. And let's see, we have Ben Russell, Mr. Secretary.
You know what, Ben, you're on mute, but
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, still
right,
can't
yeah,
hear you,
there's
even
still-
though you weren't on mute, but go ahead.
Somewhere. All right, moving down. Last one is Amin Khan, our merchandise store manager. Amin.
He may be eating.
He may
I
still
can
be.
never. Hey, I'm always eating. Okay. Uh, right now, I'm looking forward to bringing more designs and also allowing students to hopefully design the shirt this year. I've been talking to my team about it, and I think that's a route I want to go down. So the lucky teams that are here, I'm hoping to put, like we did with the patch this year, also give away a little bit of prize money if I can convince Steve for the shirt design this year as well.
All right, I mean.
Nice.
Uh,
So,
but I'll be bringing even more merchandise this year, and I'm getting started a little bit earlier this year. And I would like to bring a little bit of Miami to the competition in Midland. So we'll see how it goes.
uh-oh.
Ah.
Interesting. Okay.
That's intriguing. I
What
mean,
does that even
awesome.
mean?
That should fly over real well. That'll be very interesting.
Yeah. So
By the way,
other than that,
I
yeah.
did have feedback from one of the potential new sponsors that he was watching the I guess it was the convention video where they interviewed you and looked through all the merchandise, and that got him really excited about the event as a whole. So wanted to let you
Really?
know about that. That was pretty cool.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
All right. Okay. At this point, I have not even looked at the questions, so I'm hoping Adam was on top of those. But Adam, do you have any questions that either haven't been directly answered or anything you want to throw out to the team here?
As of right now, there was 6 questions and all of them have been answered. So now's a great time. If you have any questions, whether it's pertaining to the competition, to a specific category, or whatever it may be, please put those in the QA chat box right now.
And do not forget to fill out the survey. Looks like we've gotten quite a few responses already, so thank you for those.
What survey? I don't see one. How does that work?
There is a poll, I guess, a poll or a survey, and it just asks and I think it's not for the panelists, it's just for the attendees. And it's
Okay.
simple ask, are you a volunteer? Are you a competitor? Are you a spectator? Those kind of things. And then it asks if you are a competitor, what team do you represent? So
Gotcha.
in future town halls, we will have much more detailed questions and all sorts of good stuff for you there. Maybe we'll add some prizes for, secret attendee or something.
Ooh,
like that.
nice.
It
Yeah,
can be some
nice.
fun stuff.
Maybe we're gonna give them the
And-
patches before anyone else gets them. We'll find out.
Oh.
Hey, look at that.
All right,
Andy,
starting
where
to get
could
some questions.
Andy, where could people expect this meeting to be shared?
It will be on the ESRA YouTube channel.
Okay, perfect.
And we'll also provide a hot link on our website as well.
Yep. So
Okay, we got a lot of questions coming in now.
nice.
Let's see. We have we'll hit when do we expect registrations will open?
So the details are already updated in the integrated master schedule. And so I can certainly tell you the answers right now, but I am really forcing myself to push everybody to go look at the document because it has all the dates and times for the entire event. Now, there may be changes to it as time goes and we have to make adjustments, but it absolutely has the time and date of when the application period opens and when it closes, because that's the most important part. And guys, I can tell you this year, there are going to be some significant changes coming as far as late submissions for applications. And I'm not going to spill the beans at this point, but if I were you, I would set every single alarm clock you can to ensure that you submit everything 3 to 4 days before the deadline. If you miss a deadline this year, it's not going to be a couple of points off. It could be something much more significant. So we'll announce that as well. But again, the integrated master schedule is always in the document section of the new website. And you're looking for, again, the integrated master schedule.
Okay, thank you. We have, what are the categories for the SDL payload challenge?
That is a good question. We bounced around 2 or 3 different sort of topics as far as like bonus points. It used to be CubeSat form factor and some other things that were bouncing around, but the ones that we were discussing for this year just seem to continue to run into challenges, whether they're safety based, financial based, or just technically too challenging. But we'll keep you updated. Not sure there may be any specific, I guess, bonus category type functions this year. That it is what it is. I mean, it's still going to be a payload challenge. There'll still be an award related to it, but there might not be any specific bonus points this year for a particular type of challenge.
Okay, awesome. Alex, to answer your question, if the flight computers and GPS solutions must be switched independently, does that effectively allow solutions such as the telemetrum? It is in there that telemetrums, like the telemega and such, that they are exempt from that rule. Okay.
And I would add that if we, I think the current thinking with Da Vinci is that, because of the expanded use of 70 centimeter, that will sort of alleviate the need for that exception, I guess. You would have a frequency assigned for the combination altimeters such as the telemega and so forth. And it wouldn't be necessary to have an exception for altimeters like that.
Okay, awesome. Andy, I think this is kind of a reiteration of something that was discussed earlier. Will the submissions for progress reports be similar to the ones on HeroX?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, I mean, as far as what we are asking for, that will not change. Now, whether you go to HeroX or you go to the website or you go to another third-party functionality, that's still to be determined. But nonetheless, it will function essentially the same way that the HeroX did.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so preliminary question going into the competition. Would there be any issues ESRA-wise with using 1.2 gigahertz band for live rocket video transmission? I don't know if there's anybody on the panel that could help answer that question.
I think that's one of the recognized video. I think we've seen this question before, because there are several. There's that spectrum as well as the 5 gigahertz that are sort of focused on video. So I don't think we've ever had any problems with those. Now, again, I wouldn't recommend using those for regular rocket telemetry, but from a video standpoint, I think that those have already been mostly pre-approved. But no matter what the case, you will certainly need to list those when the surveys go out about what frequencies your rockets utilize, because video telemetry is just as important as your regular rocketry, and there can still be conflicts in those ranges. So we want to be very careful that, again, if you're coming out with a 5-watt massive transmitter and you're blasting away at everybody in or out around you, we need to be careful of that as well. So you will be required to identify all frequencies that you are using in the various different reports, as well as the survey that Da Vinci sends out every year.
All right, so right now the last question that we have is, are we abandoning the 3U form factor 50-point bonus or simply 2 kilograms of payload?
I think the 3U category and the fact that we have, I guess, we've fought over rounded corners, we've fought over the true definition of what it is so many times. I do believe at this point that CubeSat form factor is potentially going to be dropped as a bonus form factor for this year. But don't hold me. I will follow back up on social media and get a firm answer for everyone. But I know in our previous conversations over the last couple of months, the discussion was that the CubeSat used to be sort of the de facto for collegiate teams, but it seems now that it may be moving to just whatever the customer requires. And so from that standpoint, is there really any value in continuing to use that as our bonus category, or should we look at other opportunities?
Okay.
Anything else?
I believe that is all the questions. Unless anybody else has any other questions to be putting in there.
All right. I just want all the staff to look at this real quick. Look at that 757. Thank you very much.
Nice job.
Yeah, that's how you do it. All right, everyone. I appreciate all of the support that you guys are given from the student teams, support from the volunteers. Hopefully we had some sponsors on tonight too as well. If not, maybe they're watching the video. But we appreciate everyone. And we promise that this year will be even better than last year. And we are certainly driving forward to make that happen in so many different ways. You really can't even keep track of them all. But we're doing our best. So we'll see you again at our next town hall, the 4th Wednesday of the month, 7 p.m. Central. We'll send out announcements on the website as well as on social media. And maybe this time next year, all the applications will be in and all of our reviewers will be actively going through them and getting really close to announcing who's going to be competing. So looking forward to it. So it's a month away. Very exciting times. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Steve, yes, has his hand up.
Thank you. That was a thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Hand up. Thank you, everyone. And we appreciate appreciate your attention. And again, we'll keep this at an hour. And as always, if you do have additional questions or new questions you come up with later on, visit the website, submit your question on any of the forms, or I think you can click on the link of the staff and be able to email us directly from that way if it's specific to a sub team. And we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
7:59.
Everyone have a great night.
You take care.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Not too shabby.